Considering its location on the banks of the River Rhine, as part of Germany's Rhine-Ruhr metropolitan region, Cologne is ideally placed as an economic centre within Western Europe and is the ideal location for industry events of all types. The city is famous for its imposing cathedral, which was once the world's tallest building, for eau de Cologne, which has been manufactured in the city since 1709, and whoever comes here will find it difficult to avoid sampling the city's unique beer, Kölsch. Since 2018, however, Cologne has also been the location of one of the world's leading exhibitions for the tyre industry, the Tire Cologne. Following the inaugural event 6 years ago, the Tire Cologne has taken a little while to get itself established, not least because of the difficulties posed by COVID and the fact that the 2022 event clashed with the Bologna-based exhibition Autopromotech, a fact which affected both events. However, this year common sense prevailed, and with the next Autopromotech now scheduled for 2025, the Tire Cologne was able to take place from 4th to 6th of June at Kölnmesse's upgraded exhibition centre as Europe's only dedicated trade show this year for the tyre industry and distribution trade. As always though, Retreading Business Publisher David Wilson and recently appointed editor Michael Hutt were on hand to report on the week's activities. Hello and welcome to the Tire Cologne, the pinnacle of the business year for the European tyre industry. Now I'm here today with Michael Hutt, the editor of Retreading Business, and we're really looking forward to the show today. I think one of the things that stands out above anything else is how the organisers have managed to get the vast majority of the suppliers to the retreading industry in the same place at the same time. So Michael, what are you looking forward to this week?
Oh, thanks David. Well, as my first Tire Cologne, I'm very excited to just be here, but also exceptionally excited that there's so many people involved in the retreading industry all under one roof. And I mean, we're talking about companies from the US, from Europe, from Asia. They're all here together, and I think this is probably the first time in a very long time that that's happened. So really looking forward to finding out what they're bringing to the market, what they're launching, just go and have a few chats with people.
Okay, well why don't we go inside and have a chat with some of our customers.
Awesome.
One of our primary roles at the show was to organise and coordinate activities on the circular economy stage, where Retreading Business and Tire and Rubber Recycling combined to organise a series of seminars and panel discussions focusing on the role of retreading and tyre recycling in the circular economy. Topics covered included how can retreading make its sustainability credentials count and the future for independent retreading, featuring key speakers from the likes of Marangoni, Treiberg, Vipau, Hankook and Indag, amongst others. Whilst David was busy monitoring the key sessions during the conference, Michael took some time to talk directly to some of the exhibitors, and the first thing he wanted to know was what new products and technologies were being introduced by the exhibitors.
Can you give us a bit of a hint as to some of those improvements?
Well, it's easier to use.
Okay, that's always helpful.
Yeah, it's actually safer to use.
Yeah.
It's ergonomically much friendlier.
Okay.
So this is why it's safer to use. And we expect its durability to be significantly improved. So those are the advantages.
Awesome. Okay, and final question. Before we meet again next year here, hopefully, what would be the one thing in the retreading industry that you'd like to see change?
I would like to see the industry collectively get the world public more familiar with what we're bringing as far as recyclability, and it's a political thing, sort of. We have to get countries to recognize the importance of retreading for the greater good of it in general, because it's a green technology.
The stand is also a hospitality stand for our
Okay.
existing distributors. But obviously we have also direct retread customers, and where we promote mainly our aramid products, with repairs which are reinforced with aramid,
Okay.
which offer a much higher quality.
Okay.
And I think a novelty which I can say here, since a few years we also work without solvents in our chemicals,
Okay. Interesting.
which certain tire manufacturers now require due to environmental requirements,
Yeah.
especially Germany, where we have to provide the product without solvents. So the chemicals which we use are without solvents, and in addition we can even repair, we can cure the tire without solvents, without cement, let's say. So we do it by preheating the repairs and install them without any cement, which is the traditional way of working. So that's a big evolution in our let's say know-how and research, and it's been very successful. We have at least 3-4 big retread shops who work solvent-free.
We brought 3 new patterns, one for long haul, a regional one, and one for winter.
Great.
They are quite new. We just launched it.
Okay.
So we are quite pleased with it.
Yeah.
The results that we are having from our customers are quite good. So we are very optimistic.
Interim has been a company that was founded in 1966 with a headquarter in Milano. And nowadays, of course, we are looking to provide not alternative methods in production, but alternative tools. So we are implementing robots for the skiving, for the cementing. Cementing, which is we all know, cementing is not the nicest job in our industry, but a robot can do it. Skiving, you have to be very accurate, you have to be skilled, so it takes a lot of experience, but the robot will do it. Filling of the craters, skiving holes, the filling can be done by the robot, okay? So generally speaking, our goal of the last year's development, R&D, was in the automation, robotic solutions, using Industry 4.0.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, your skiving robot is perfect.
It's
I
wonderful.
like the look of that.
Wonderful. Also, what we do is with our, we have had the problem of energy cost. Our new buffing machine is using much less of energy than, let's say, a standard model. So we all have to look into the problem of, let's say, human resources to find skilled labor, availability of labor, but also at hand the problem of energy cost.
We can say we promote a new type of retreat plus recycling, because with our technology we are able to give to the customer a 92% recycled material in the new tire. So this is good. In the end, we can save the planet, we can save a lot of money, and also we can create more job for the community, because the retreat sector needs to have more job in the community.
In the meantime, David Wilson also managed to find the time in between presentations on the circular economy stage to ask Frederico Schmidt from Vipal the same question.
We have brought some development that Vipal did lately. One of them is a traction design thread that we can see up front. Is the DVRT5. Has been specially designed for high performance on the traction application. And also the highlight of this show for us is the pre-launch of our exclusive design for electric vehicles, urban application. It's called the DVUME, and we have received several inquiries about that. We're very happy with that.
Excellent. So what are the key characteristics of this new tread?
We have done extensive research, and actually we are still doing, to try to understand better the needs for electrical vehicles. We found that since the electrical vehicles have 100% torque from the beginning, one of the characteristics that the tread design and the component have to have is extra resistance for the torque, so to avoid any possible injuries that the tread may have during application. And the other one, also due to the weight of the vehicle, performance of the the product has to be a high standard for it. So that would, I would say, that's the key developments applied to this tread design.
Okay, so we're here on the circular economy stage of the Tire Cologne at the end of the second day of the show. I just spent 2 exhausting days moderating the conference that we've had on retreading and recycling. It's been very successful. We've had a great number of visitors and some excellent speakers. As for the show itself, the consensus is that it's been pretty successful. There have been a lot more people here than there were 2 years ago, and that's primarily because the show does not coincide with the Bologna show. The exhibitors here have told us that they've had a lot of visitors and have done good business. So far it's looking really good. Well, let's see what happens tomorrow, and then we'll come back to you at the end of the show and let you know how it really went.
During the second and third days of the show, we were able to talk more to our regular advertisers and exhibitors about their experience at the show this year, how the show was helping improve the profile of the retreading sector, and what the industry's prospects were for the future. We're pleased to be able to report that the comments we received over the 3 days were overwhelmingly positive.
So I just wanted to find out, what's your perception of the Tire Cologne so far? Do you feel like having all of the retreaders together in this space, or all of the retreading providers, is good for the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously raises awareness. I think this year you can see that there's an increase in presence. The previous exhibition, there was, I think, a bit of a lull post-COVID. People still dubious about travelling, etc. But I think this time you can see it's back with a vengeance.
Great, it's nice to see. And what do you think of the, there's a very negative perception of retreading at the moment, but an event like this makes us feel like there's hope. What do you feel of the perception of the industry and how an event like this changes it?
I think the key with retreading, especially at the moment, is moving with the times and the investment, with the technologies, the machinery. These things develop, and I think legacy machinery is still out there, and with that machinery, the processes are often slower, less reliable. So I think now more than ever, move with the times, invest in the machinery, and you can see that the premium retreaders that have made those investments are thriving.
Mm-hmm. I do believe that specifically if you look at this kind of fair, it is important that we put retreading back on the map, on the global map of recycling. Yeah. Because retreading is true recycling. And if you actually look a little bit further down there, Azure, that is actually an alliance of the major contributors in the industry to actually put this on the political arena again. Exactly. And we from B&J Rocket, we actually support Azure, but we also want to actually promote our brand name. Mm-hmm. We are the innovators. We are basically the inventors of the buffing tool. Yes. And we have a great brand. We want to promote it, and that is why we actually are here on that fair to welcome our friends, partners, and customers.
Perfect. It's very positive because that's the reason why we are here. Retread is one of the main market sectors which we try to approach, and especially Germany. We've been here in Cologne in 2019, the first time they opened. Okay. We were back in 22. And we're happy to be here again. Great. And it's a crowded show. It's loaded. Great. So we're happy with it.
We came with a big expectation for the show, and so far it surpassed our expectation. Yesterday we are very busy, and today also we receive a very good response for the customers.
I think that this show was great. There's a great response. We had a lot of visitors. I'm very optimistic about what's going to come out of this show.
Great, awesome. Yeah, actually that leads me nicely to my next question. The retreading industry seems to be quite negative at times, but I wondered what your thoughts are on, the positivity and moving forward within the industry.
Well, I think retreading has, from an optimistic point of view, it's really a green recycling of tires. It's positive all the way around, actually. It's making a good use of our resources. And I think it's good for the planet in general. So I'm pretty optimistic about the future of retreading.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy, very impressed to see so many people being here on the show today and yesterday. Yeah, I believe retreading is a very, very important factor of the circular economy. And I am absolutely convinced that retreading will have a strong future.
Yeah.
And the dedication of the new tire industry towards retreading is as well visible. And it's a clear sign that this will be leading us into the future.
A trade show, of course, can only be successful if the exhibitors are satisfied, and it was gratifying to see such a positive response from exhibitors from the retreading industry. The decision to host a circular economy stage was a big decision for the organisers though, so before we cut to the exterior of the exhibition halls for David and Michael's conclusions, let's hear what show director Ingo Riedeberger had to say.
It's been the third day of Tire Cologne 2024, and of course we went into the show with quite some expectations. But let's face it, and let me be very honest and proud, of course, I was overwhelmed by the reactions I received from our exhibitors and from our visitors for this edition of Tire Cologne. We had a massive increase of international trade visitors, and they come from all over the world. You wouldn't believe it, we have visitors from 109 countries, and that is a very strong number, and that is what the exhibitors were really happy about in their discussions and business environment. You know, also for the exhibitors, it's always a big invest to do a show, to do an international trade show. And before the show, you never know, is it going to pay off? So I'm happy for those who took the chance and who were convinced of Tire Cologne, and of course even happier that they are coming back to me and say, thank you Ingo, great show. We go home with a lot of leads, a lot of new leads also, and international ones and German ones. And that of course makes me happy and gives me a good perspective for Tire Cologne 2026.
So here we are again at the end of another trade show, and the general consensus has been that the Tire Cologne 2024 has been a really big success. The general reaction from the stands of the retreading exhibitors was that they had a really good show, lots of people there, some good business done, and they're looking forward to the next show, I think. Now, from our perspective, we ran the circular economy stage and ran some conference sessions during the show, and that was also very well attended, and we hope we'll be able to share some videos and footage from those conferences very soon. So Michael, what did you think of it?
Yeah, so I spent a lot of the time of the show going around talking to all of the individual vendors within the retreading sector, and it felt like a community event here, and I think everybody was exceptionally positive in an industry that has a bit of a propensity to be negative at times. So it was really nice to see lots of people, you know, talking to new customers, current customers. I felt like it was an exceptionally positive experience, you know, for retreading business as well as all of the people exhibiting.
So it's good news all round for the European retreading industry, and we look forward to seeing you again in 2 years' time in Cologne for the next Tire Cologne.